Hi everyone, my name is Allison Castle. I am a certified international health coach and graduate of the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I'm also a student in the Holistic MBA Grad Intensive course through the Health Coach Institute. I'm glad you made it to this workshop for deciphering nutrition labels and 4 tips for choosing a healthier option. Today we're going to talk about why it's important to read nutrition labels, why some ingredients are better to avoid, and how you can make the healthiest choice when buying packaged foods. First, I'd like you to think about what element of the nutrition label is the biggest factor for you when you're purchasing packaged foods. Keep that element in the back of your mind as we go through this presentation, and you'll get to see if it makes it into my top 4 tips. How did I end up here talking to you about nutrition labels? I have energy and I enjoy cooking real food, but that wasn't always this way. I became a mother 12 years ago, and it was one of the happiest times of my life, until my son's doctor began expressing concerns over his growth rate. As a new mom, I was overwhelmed and I was guilt-ridden. It seemed like I really lacked the ability to properly care for my child. I was thinking I was using the best means to get calories into his body, and I relied heavily on packaged convenience food. This did not help him gain weight, but it certainly helped my husband and I gain weight, and we felt sluggish. I knew this couldn't be the answer. That's when I discovered something that changed everything for me and my family. Our health improved along with our weight. We had more energy and we just felt better. That's one of the reasons I decided to become a health coach, to teach people how to eat well without completely giving up their favorite foods. It's my goal to help you connect the dots and show you exactly how you can do this, no matter how far off track you feel. So you're in the right place if you're wondering how to decipher nutrition labels, and you don't want to spend hours at the grocery store trying to find the product with all the right numbers. You want someone to tell you what to look for and what to avoid, and you want to get a handle on your health. If this describes you, then you really are exactly in the right place. I'm going to show you today what to look for when reading nutrition labels so you can have a healthier option without giving up convenience, so you can experience a transformation that gives you the best body, mood, and energy. I'm going to teach you as much as I can in this presentation, and some of you may want to take this further because it can be overwhelming. But I will show you how you can take it further if you want to, so don't worry. Now, I frequently hear misconceptions when reading nutrition labels on packaged foods. Now, misconception number 1. The front of the package says all natural, low fat, high in fiber, great source of protein, made with real fruit, etc. And the brand may be called Light and Fit. That means it's healthy, right? The answer to this question is it depends. The front of the package is another form of advertising and marketing. It doesn't give a full picture of the product. For example, a product may really be low in fat, but at the same time be extremely high in sugar. Or like this Hawaiian punch. And the front of the package just says made with natural fruit juices. That's not a lie. But if you look at the ingredient list, natural fruit juices are less than 2% in the ingredient portion of the ingredient list. Now, products may also use unregulated words such as all natural, or use a brand name such as Light and Fit, Healthy Choice, Lean Cuisine. They really don't have a defined meaning, but they certainly look good to consumers. Misconception number 2. Calories are the most important part of the nutrition label because counting calories is the only way to lose weight and get healthy. Unfortunately, this misconception has left a lot of people frustrated because all calories are not created equal, and they're not processed the same way by the body. A source of calories is important. Some of the calories in our food come from chemicals. According to the Center on Science for the Public Interest, there are more than 10,000 chemicals in our food, and it is questionable whether these are safe by themselves or in combination, especially because much of the testing is not done independently, and the testing done does not take into consideration the cocktail effect. And this is the cumulative exposure to multiple additives and preservatives and other chemicals we encounter in everyday life. These added chemicals do not provide nutritional benefit, and they leave our bodies hungry for nutrients. Due to this hunger for nutrients, you can be overweight and also malnourished at the same time. Now, interestingly, many of the ingredients added to food in the US have been deemed harmful and banned in other countries. One example of this is colorings and dyes. Most food dyes are made from petroleum and serve to deceive consumers. They're often used to simulate the presence of healthful, colorful fruits and vegetables. Like on the Gatorade website, the artificial colors are used to help reinforce the flavor perception. As of July 2010, most foods in the European Union that contain artificial food dyes are labeled with a warning label. And like this one in particular states that this product may have adverse effect on activity and attention in children. In the EU, they are also now easily replacing food dyes with safer non-chemical based ingredients. Many of these products, which have been made safer in Europe, are still being produced and sold with artificial dyes in the US. Another category of additives include natural and artificial flavoring. This is a lower cost way to flavor food and create craveability or an addiction to the product. The goal is to make a short, intense flavor that tricks taste buds and smell receptors into expecting a flavor from food that does not exist in real life. The flavor quickly dissipates and you want to come back for more. This leads to overeating and weight gain. Now, natural flavors sound good. They're created from natural sources that can be eaten, like a plant or an animal, but they do contain synthetic chemicals from processing. Artificial flavors come from things that are not edible at all, like petroleum, and they're completely man-made. So when you read artificial flavors or natural flavors on a label, the specific ingredients and processing is unknown. It can contain anywhere from 50 to 100 ingredients just in that one ingredient on the label. And they're often mixed with chemical solvents and preservatives, and it really leads you to, what is this mystery ingredient? What am I really eating? Another ingredient that I think is really important to talk about is trans fats. They are partially hydrogenated oils, and it's a really interesting ingredient. They were originally designed and used in margarines and shortenings to replace butter. And now we know that real butter, especially grass-fed butter, is a much, much healthier choice. Due to the increased risk of obesity, heart disease, stroke, and diabetes, the FDA has determined that trans fats are harmful enough to be phased out of all products by 2018. High fructose corn syrup is another important ingredient I want to talk about. It's found in almost everything and has a unique biological effect when consumed. There was research done by the Dr. Bruce Ames group at the Children's Hospital Oakland Research Institute, and they found that free fructose from high fructose corn syrup requires more energy to be absorbed by the gut. This depletes the energy fuel source our gut needs to maintain the integrity of our intestinal lining. So high doses of free fructose have been proven to literally punch holes in the intestinal lining. This allows nasty byproducts of toxic gut bacteria and partially digested food proteins to enter our bloodstream and trigger the inflammation we now know is the root cause of obesity, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, dementia, and accelerated aging. So this is textbook leaky gut syndrome. Another interesting fact, the average American consumes over 60 pounds of high fructose corn syrup per year. Okay, now we're on to artificial sweeteners that seem to be a better alternative to sugar, but artificial sweeteners stimulate your taste buds and trick them into thinking you're eating real sugar. Artificial sweeteners can be 1,000 times sweeter than sugar, so your body becomes confused and revs up the production of insulin. This is your fat storage hormone. Your metabolism slows down and you burn fewer calories every day. You may become hungry more quickly, and when you do, you're prone to eating more food, especially sugary and starchy carbs. And increased belly fat is an inevitable result. There have been a couple different animal studies that are pretty interesting. One study, rats that consumed artificial sweeteners ate more food, their metabolic fire or thermogenesis slowed down, and they put on 14% more body fat in just 2 weeks, even if they ate fewer total calories than the rats that ate regular sugar-sweetened food. Another study, artificial sweeteners, is showing that they can become quickly addictive. And rats offered a choice of cocaine or artificial sweeteners always pick the artificial sweetener. even if the rats were previously programmed to be cocaine addicts. A fun piece of information for you. So in an ideal world, our bodies would be receiving nutrient-dense food and rarely ingest these ingredients. In that scenario, our bodies would be able to process all these added ingredients through our detox organs and eliminate them through our digestive system. Unfortunately, we are so bombarded with toxins coming from so many different directions, our bodies cannot detox fast enough. This results in built-up toxins being released into our bloodstream and contributing to chronic inflammation, which is considered the root cause of all diseases. Besides the inflammation, our bodies try to protect us by storing built-up toxins in fat cells, and that means to try to protect our organs. This creates excess weight that is very, very difficult to lose. So in this misconception, we talked about calories being the most important factor, which we've proven is not necessarily the case. So another factor that people run across that can cause confusion is serving size, especially if you're having difficulty losing weight. There are many times that we're consuming more than we think because we may have the perception of what a serving size looks like that's very different from what the manufacturer intended. So these are some examples here. Now, misconception number 3, I really don't eat sweets. So I'm sure I don't really eat too much sugar. Now, sugar can be very addictive. It's an ingredient that shows up in lots of places. And it not only contributes to weight gain and contributes to difficulty losing weight, it also triggers the chronic inflammation, leading to every one of the major chronic diseases of aging, such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes, dementia, etc. So the recommended intake per day for an adult is between 20 and 40 grams of sugar. For children, it's between 12 and 18 grams of sugar. So this represents with the sugar cubes how much we really should be taking per day. According to the USDA, the average American consumes 194 grams per day. So a lot more than our recommended 20 to 40 grams per day. For an adult, 12 to 18 grams for children. Now, this equates to 156 pounds per year. So most Americans are probably eating a lot more than they think. So to show you the 156 pounds per year, there's 1 slide of sugar, 2 slides of sugar, 3 slides of sugar, and 4. So that's an awful lot of sugar. So now, you didn't just come here for misconceptions and problems, you came here for solutions. So the 4 tips I have for reading nutrition labels so you can pick a healthier option without giving up convenience. Tip number 1, don't be swayed by the health claims on the front of the package. Remember, these are a form of advertising and will not give you all the information you need to make the healthiest choice. Number 2, look at the ingredient list first. It is the most important. It's most important, and the shorter the list is usually better. To make this a little easier so you don't have to remember all those ingredients that I said to avoid when there's so many more that I didn't get to specifically talk about. Here's tip number 2, simplified. Do you recognize all the ingredients on the ingredient list? Can you pronounce all the ingredients on the ingredient list? And my personal favorite, could you reproduce this product in your own kitchen? If the answer to any of these is no, it's probably not the healthiest option. Tip number 3, be aware of serving size and serving per package. It can be very easy to overeat unintentionally, so it's good to be aware. Tip number 4, look at the sugar content. Sugar is hiding everywhere, and so many of us are eating far more than the recommended maximum. So that's important to be aware of as well. So the food element that I asked you to think about at the beginning of the presentation, did it fit into these top 4? If so, awesome. You already know a lot about reading nutrition labels. And whether you know about reading nutrition labels or not, some of you are going to want to take this further. And as promised, I'd like to share with you how you can do that. You may not feel 100% confident that you can walk away from this talk and use the nutrition label tips to select healthier options when shopping for packaged foods. This is because there are 3 key elements that help put this all together. And without these three, we stay in the same pattern, repeat the same old behaviors that keep us stuck. Some of us do well for a while, and we get new information, we renew our commitment, and we are consistent for a couple weeks. Then our motivation may fizzle out and we fall off track. Many of us really know what to do, but we don't always do it. That's because knowing isn't enough. It's not what really motivates us. We have a lot of theory, but we don't always put it into practice. The three ingredients that put it all together are the right system, the right support, and the right accountability. We've got plenty of information, so we don't need more of that. What we do need to do to make this time different is someone to encourage our progress and someone to hold us accountable for when we make poor choices. So since you may not be ready to trade in your packaged food for a healthier option, I'd like to invite you to a free initial health transformation session. It's a 30-minute private consultation. We look at why you're stuck in old behaviors, how to help you get unstuck, and give you a plan of action to experience a total health transformation. You would invest 30 minutes of your time and you walk away with some insights on how to break out of the rut that you're in and get into action. So I want to invite you to open up to the possibility that this time really can be different, that you may not have tried everything yet. And even if you're pretty healthy already, there may be something missing. So this is an opportunity you can get really curious about how healthy you can be. The program that I use is unique because we focus on what you get to have rather than what you don't, because deprivation is not fun and it doesn't work in the long run. So when I work with clients, I want to inspire them to reclaim their health in a way that's sustainable, natural, and fun. As a coach, I provide support and accountability, two ingredients proven to make all the difference in the world between staying stuck and breaking out of a rut. So if you're ready for the right system, the accountability, and the support, it's going to work like nothing you've ever tried. And I want to invite you to a free health transformation session. It's a 30-minute session. It'll help you look at why you're stuck in your behaviors and how to get unstuck, give you a plan of action to experience a total transformation. And you'll walk away with some insights on how to break out of the rut and get into an action, even if you decide you don't want to work forward with me. So if you're interested in the free transformation session, just use my contact page at castlehealthcoach.com, and you can submit the form and request a free consultation. This session is valued at $65, and I promise you'll get some great insights on why you're stuck and how to get unstuck. So again, if you want to, if you're interested in a free consultation, my website is castlehealthcoach.com, contact page. Fill out the contact form. I'll follow up with you in the next 24 to 48 hours. And I appreciate you listening. Hope you got a lot out of this presentation. Thank you.